Hello my friends, this is going to be a little different because I realized as I was shooting my vlog that something was up with the audio cable and I wasn't actually getting audio, so I'm kind of just making this up as I go along. I wanted to do a proper review now that I've done 2 visits here to the Coaster Power Hours, and I kind of feel like my first impressions was the last vlog, and this one, now that the weather is better, brought out maybe twice as much people, I want to say, which still wasn't that many people. Most of the rides that I went on were running multiple trains. Most of the rides that I went on, I only waited maybe a cycle, maybe 2 at most, and that was mainly on stuff like Ka and on El Toro, which El Toro running 1 train is tough. They should be running 2 at least. I think at some point it reached like a half-hour wait or so, and that mainly, I think, is because of that. The other thing that I noticed while I was waiting in the stations, now that I wasn't able to just get right back on the ride, is that a lot of the crew seems to be new, and maybe this event is a really nice way to involve these new crews and training them up to do the ride ops here, because I've heard that for their opening weekend at Great Adventure, they actually had to fly in some people, some ride operators, just to have coverage, just to have the staffing in order to do what they're doing. But overall, everything has been running great. El Toro was hauling as usual. Thing feels like it wants to kill you, basically. I didn't actually get on Ka, I just went to observe it, like the operations there, because I still can't go on stuff like that just yet because of the acceleration. For those of you who don't follow my channel, I had heart surgery back in October, so I'm still kind of easing my way, but I can pretty much do everything at Great Adventure except King to Ka. Nitro was running 3 trains, I believe. Batman the Ride was only running 1. Bizarro was running 2. Mine Train was running 1. Skull Mountain 1. And I'm trying to think what else. I think Green Lantern, both Green Lantern and Superman were running 2 trains. If I had to guess, I heard that there was barely 1,000 people here the first week. This second week, it's likely, especially judging by the parking lot, which they've only filled in basically the premium lot and then just a little bit spilling over from there. So maybe it's been twice as much. Maybe there's 2,000 people, 2,500 people in the park. It's still not that many, so it's still really worth it to come out here if you're trying to get, you know, your fix of roller coasters, especially this time of year when most amusement parks, 1, haven't opened, or 2, haven't started operating on Fridays, and then I think in May it'll switch over to Thursdays, and even still there's not going to be a lot of options for riding roller coasters on a Thursday night in May because things haven't opened yet, especially with this way that everybody, theme parks, all these theme parks have kind of eased their way into into a regular operating schedule. I think that there's so much demand for it. People have been cooped up at home. They need things to do, and this is a great way to kind of fill a need that's there. So I wonder how much money they're actually making on this, because for members and season pass holders, it's only $5. For anybody else, it's $30, and that's a great deal to me in either regard. But the cost of operating all of this stuff, having crews for this, having all the staff that's at the boardwalk with games that I haven't really seen played, in addition to all the food places they have open, that just sounds like, how are they meeting that cost? They also have retail locations open, kind of peppered throughout, especially at the front of the park. So I'm wondering how this is making sense for Six Flags to be doing this, but I'm not complaining, that's for sure. I did do some vlogging earlier today, but the first 2 hours of my visit here, I just focused on riding. I went immediately to El Toro before the line started backing up because of the 1 train ops. Then I went over to Nitro, which it looked like they were training some people, and so whoever was doing grouping was like grouping and then putting you right on the train, rather than like having you stop right before wait for the next one. And it kind of stalled things up a little bit, so even though they had 3 train ops going, you could be on that 3rd train. There would be 2 in the break run waiting to get in, which was kind of wild to me. But I know for sure that by like June, maybe even sooner, by Memorial Weekend, let's say, these new crews that are coming in that have been hired are going to be trained up, and they're probably going to be really good. I'm interested to see that. I'll probably do like a ride ops check probably in a month, let's say, like the weekend before Memorial Weekend or something like that. I'll try to come back out here and maybe time them or something like that. I'll whatever. There's a YouTube channel that does that a lot, and maybe I'll borrow that and just see how their ops are. But other than that, it's a solid event. The food offerings are minimal. When you get here, the parking is free. It's included. So I saw a lot of cars that were coming in that would stop and kind of wait for an attendant or something like that. It's time to switch arms here. And I hear it going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that, if the microphone picks that up. But I saw cars stopping in front of the parking booths where they would usually like scan your ticket or whatever. And no, just go right through. Park. You can park in the premium lot, if that's what it's called. I never really use that lot, but you can just roll right through there. They're not checking anything, so park as close to the park as you want. Security is a breeze. They stop you from entering the park right up until 6 o'clock. And from there, my recommendation is coming to Nitro or King Dakar, which is going to be the ones that'll get backed up a little bit. That's where most of the demand is. So like today, I was able to go straight for El Toro and just people are playing the games over here. I was able to go straight to El Toro, and I got 3 rides before I even had to get out of the station. So that was awesome. Then I got on for like 5 more times, and each time I had to wait either 1 cycle or 2 cycles. Then after that, I went over to Bizarro. That one, there was almost nobody there. I think everybody had started making that beeline to El Toro. But after that, Mine Train kept going across the park. Said hi to Skull Mountain, which was a little bit better. The workman's light was not on, so I could actually see some of the effects. And from there, went over to Nitro, and I just stayed there for like 10 rides. But the rides were getting longer to actually do. I think each ride in the beginning took like 5 minutes, and then it started taking 10. It felt like there was a lot of traffic in the station, which was strange. Maybe they were training, and that's why there was a slowdown. And from what I've experienced, and especially from last week, it seemed like they were just going. From there, I went to Batman the Ride. Then I started my vlog and started recapping stuff like we are here. But then I came back, finished the night at El Toro, and was like, wow, no clips of anything that I recorded tonight had any audio. So here we are trying to salvage the night with a proper review. So apologies that this does not really meet the criteria of quality that I normally put out, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts after having a second night and a fuller experience of what you could probably expect with these Coaster Power Hours moving forward as we get into May, because that's just right around the corner. It's only a week away, basically. And then I'm excited because a lot of other parks are going to be opening, and you might not see me here at Six Flags Great Adventure quite as much. But overall, highly recommend this event. I wish that they did more stuff like this and more with this event. I think that they could probably tighten up the food offerings, so only a few locations, and just have those well staffed. I think they could probably ditch the boardwalk games, to be honest. I think it would be cool if they had a character or two to kind of cheer you on or something. They probably could do some sort of merch or something like that for the event. Just off the top of my head, some sort of glow thing, some sort of t-shirts, hats, something would be cool to kind of round this out, because it is a nice little idea. But anyway, guys, all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I hope you found this helpful. If there's anything I didn't answer, let me know in the comments. But for now, I hope you go make your own adventure. Bye. I'm just waiting here because I know that I have 2 videos that are being recommended to you, and hopefully I'm not in the way. Listening to those intimate farts. Yes, that's what they're called, the sound that El Toro makes when it goes by. And also, I was covering this light. I don't know if any of you noticed that. I didn't like it in the shot because it's kind of weird and blown out. But anyway, I'm babbling now, so good night.